So take this a step further. For my tanks, I can create all my individual tanks, and they'll already be in the correct place and the correct diameter. My railing, you see how I've got the railing here on my skeleton model? I can use frame generator to plate in another assembly and create all my railings. My building steel, which is this construction line that you see here, I can even go through and put all my building steel in, so that when I'm done, I can have it all in here and it's all quick and easy and up to date. Now, how do I know it's all up to date? Well, here goes. If I go over here to my first floor, and you'll quickly see that I've got 25 by, I think it's 50 feet deck. You can see my holes coming over 12 by 12, and it's a 12-inch diameter hole. Well, let's change a few parameters and watch. Let's make this 60 feet. Sorry. Helps when you have your units right. 60 feet. Let's make this 50 feet. If I did my job right, all the other floors updated, the equipment location updated. Let's come over to my assembly and tell it to update, and you'll note all the floors update and everything updates appropriately. So real fast, real quick, I can lay it all out. I can generate all my parts, and I can use all those parts, because they're already in the correct place, to set them in the correct location. So that's the first part. Now let's take a second and see how we can put all this stuff together. Let's do a little cleanup here. Let's take a look at how we can apply this. We created each floor and all the individual pieces here, taking the skeleton model and building each piece. Then we came back through and we created this assembly based on the individual components. So they're all tied together. If I go back to that skeleton model and make an adjustment, they'll all update. Take it on faith right now. I'll demonstrate in a minute. But I've got 187 parts. This can be unwieldy. I mean, I know this is just 187 parts, but when you start talking about a very, very large assembly, this number can get very large. And what happens is it takes a long time to work with this, especially in drawings. So to work with this in drawings, a method to do this is to make this smaller. Remember, I kind of teased you in the beginning, try to get this down from 187 down to 2. Well, here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start by creating views of just the information that I want. So I'm going to create one here called equipment, and I'm going to come through and isolate just my equipment. Take farm mixer, that's all I want, and isolate it, and go back to master, and I'll create another one that I'll call building, and I will come down through here and select just the building and isolate those. So real quick, I can go between equipment and building. Now building's got some extra stuff, not extra stuff, they've got all these extra sketches in here. We'll just go through and just make them less visible. Okay, one more. There we go, that looks nice and pretty. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go create 2 additional parts. And if you hadn't figured it out, one will be called building and one will be called equipment. So let's come here, go over to our manage, derive, Plant day is what I want. The information I'm going to bring in, I can bring in by representation. And notice building. Hey. Look at that. Save this. We'll call this building. I'll just add my little demo to it. Go create my second part. Let this one finish saving. Okay. And yes, I'm going to go over to Derive. Again, plant day. And this time I'm going for the equipment. And saving it. And yes, I'll call it equipment demo. Now I can put the two together. Now I've only got how many parts to bring in? 2. I can go grab building and equipment. Sorry. 2 parts. Building and equipment. Done. I'll set the occurrence of one of them, which is most likely this one. 000. So I'm grounding it to 000. And there it is. Save it. I'll call this plant demo.